KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Some San Antonio homeowners could get a break on their property taxes this year. The key word, some. Not every property owner apparently will.
As the city prepares for its annual budget process, the city council is looking at options for tax relief. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger tells us how that might help you or pass you over. He joins us live in the newsroom now. Garrett.
Your primary home in which you live in. The city put the bare minimum exemption of $5,000 on the books a couple years ago for the first time. Last year, they raised it up to 10% of a home's appraised value. Now, they're looking at maxing out that exemption to 20%. That's not so much a gift as it is a necessity for the city. It has to contend with a state-imposed cap on how much more property tax revenue it collects compared to last year. And since property values continue to shoot up, the city has to find ways to cut revenue so it can stay on the right side of the cap. And between the proposed exemption and a decrease in the tax rate, homeowners would wind up paying the city less money in their property tax bills than they did last year. However, outgoing Councilman Mario Bravo pointed out that maxing out homestead exemptions means not lowering the tax rate by as much as they could otherwise, which is how businesses and apartment complexes get relief.
The more we help homeowners, that means we're having to shift that tax burden to somebody, and that's working class families, that's renters, and so it's just something to be mindful of.
The council will vote next week whether to increase the homestead exemption, but the tax rate won't be set until council passes its annual budget in September. Now, the city is only one portion of your property tax bill, so what they do won't affect how much the county, school district, or any of the other taxing entities charge you. Live in the newsroom, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. Well, he was shot and killed during a confrontation at a Northwest Side laundromat. And tonight, police are still looking for the person who killed Jermaine Watson. The shooting happened around 12:30 this morning at an Easy Wash on Gardendale. Police say Watson confronted two men after he saw them making a mess outside. SAPD says one of the men then shot and killed Watson. Officers say the business does have surveillance cameras, and according to SAPD, at least two people were inside the laundromat at the time of that shooting.
SAPD also investigating an attempted robbery and shooting outside of a convenience store. This incident happened at 9:30 last night in the 700 block of Palo Alto Road. It's near Somerset and I-35. According to SAPD, a man in his 40s walking out of the store when two men with guns tried to rob him. Officers say the man refused to give anything to the suspects. That's when he was shot 3 times in the chest. The victim taken to BAMC. At last check, he's in critical condition. No arrests have been made.
A drive-by shooting, then a love triangle argument leave one man dead on the southeast side. A recent string of shootings there has the attention of former Bexar County Commissioner Tommy Atkinson, who is a lifelong resident of Highland Hills, where he leads a neighborhood association. Atkinson says joining your local neighborhood association can create strong community relationships with your neighbors, as well as safe officers.
They contribute to the movement by being a member, by being an attending member, being an officer in the organization. And that way you can watch and see what's going on and you can speak up.
Atkinson hopes that San Antonio police and city leaders will make community safety a continuous priority, doing things like adding more patrol officers.
And tonight, San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers are asking for your help in a murder case. Police say this man, 33-year-old Brandon Epps, found dead with gunshot wounds inside of his apartment. Police say Epps was found around 2 in the morning on January 20th at the Arcadian Apartments on East Loop 1604. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. A San Antonio man accused of killing his wife nearly 6 years ago finally heading to trial. Jury selection will begin tomorrow in the Guadalupe Contreras murder case. Erica Hernandez explains why this case has taken so long to have its day in court.
Guadalupe Contreras sat quietly in court as his attorney met with prosecutors. Contreras, back in August 2017, was arrested and charged with the murder of his wife, Elizabeth Contreras.
You have something to say?
Not guilty.
August 2nd, 2017 was the last time anyone had heard from 39-year-old Elizabeth Contreras after she didn't show up to pick up her work schedule. The next day, her family reported her missing. Her car was later found along a highway with blood inside and some of her personal belongings. Elizabeth's family didn't give up hope and searched for days and put up flyers of the missing mom.
It's hard not having her here and not knowing what happened to her.
And then the case turned tragic when Elizabeth's remains were found in a field in the 12,800 block of Old Corpus Christi Road. Investigators at the time said cell phone and GPS data led them to arrest Guadalupe.
There's a lot of evidence on the state side that I think is going to take some time to go through.
We do have a couple of experts, Judge.
After several changes in attorneys for both the defense and state, as well as the pandemic, the case is finally set for trial in the 379th District Court with presiding judge Ron Rangel. Again, jury selection is tomorrow with opening statements expected on Friday morning. This trial will continue into next week, and if found guilty, Contreras is facing up to life in prison. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
One person was killed and 3 were injured after a roof collapsed at a high school gym in Houston. They were construction workers working on that gym area. Friendwood ISD officials say it happened yesterday around 4:30 in the afternoon. The 4 workers were taken to a nearby hospital, and that's where one was pronounced dead. No students and staff were involved, and there's still no word on what caused that roof to collapse.
Now to an update on State Attorney General Ken Paxton's securities fraud trial. The state's highest criminal court ruling today that case against the now suspended Attorney General will stay in Houston. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals overturned a lower court ruling that had said Paxton's trial had been improperly moved from Collin County, where he lives, to Harris County. Paxton allegedly got people to invest in stock without disclosing that company was paying him. No date for the trial has been set. Paxton was indicted by a Collin County grand jury in 2015.
Well, it has been more than a year since Russia invaded Ukraine, forcing many families to leave their own country. Hundreds of those refugees ended up in San Antonio with hopes of rebuilding. And today, many of them joined a free seminar to learn about starting a small business. RJ Marquez tells us about this unique partnership at Geekdom, aiming to bridge the gap for these aspiring entrepreneurs.
These folks, they never thought they would one day be living in San Antonio, Texas, and losing everything they worked for back home.
Dozens of Ukrainian refugees who lost everything are taking the first steps to owning a small business in San Antonio. They met at Geekdom for a series of free business seminars.
There was a huge need and hunger for support of those that really want to start a business or embark in the entrepreneurial journey.
Olena Kristuk with Ukrainian San Antonio says many refugees have a tough time finding similar jobs they had when they were forced to leave.
Coming here is just trying to orient themselves, even like jobs, if you're applying for jobs to work or the businesses to start.
And people from Ukraine who now live in San Antonio not only got the opportunity to learn about the first or the initial steps when it comes to owning a business, but they also learned about the challenges and the legalities of ownership here in the United States.
We wanted to include the legal side because it's completely different the way they're used to doing business back home.
There's a lot of resources that I think they don't quite knew that they exist in San Antonio.
And with Geekdom's help, Olena says that one of the goals is to build a network of local Ukrainian business owners that can support one another in the future.
A lot of them have the basic understanding, and the entrepreneurial spirit, I feel like it's very transferable, right? As long as you have the spirit and mindset and you have the right tools, you can make anything come true.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Take a live look outside. 93 degrees out there. Yes, the haze is still with us, Adam Caskey.
Yeah, it is. We have a little bit of smoke in the air, but it's made to look worse than it really is due to several other factors in our sky, including a ton of moisture and an atmospheric inversion, a few things. 93, that was our high today. That's actually exactly average. Now, temperatures didn't get as warm as expected because those low clouds really held tight for longer than anticipated, and that can happen at any time this time of year. It's one of those weather wild cards that we deal with around here. I'm not complaining, though. I like when we have those morning clouds helping us out. Del Rio topped out at 103, along with Cotulla and Laredo. Junction, the hot spot today, 105, and nearby Ozona, 104 for the high. By this day last year, we had 14 100-degree days. We have yet to officially hit triple digits here in San Antonio. We'll be back to talk about our triple-digit forecast and even a little break in the humidity in just a bit.
Let's head outside with your traffic authority and live cam. You're looking at 281 at Hildebrand. Moving pretty smoothly, a little bit slow on one of those sides, but let's just hope you got AC in your car after that forecast. We have one of our household cars does not have AC very well right now.
Yeah, I feel for you.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, San Antonio will be celebrating Juneteenth over the next several days, both before and after Monday, June 19th, a national holiday.
Texas, the last holdout after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, giving enslaved people their freedom. Tonight, Jesse Degollado shows us where Juneteenth is remembered in San Antonio year-round.
At the heart of the San Antonio African American Community Archive and Museum, the lesson and legacy of Juneteenth.
Freedom is not really freedom unless everybody's free.
SACAM's Chief Administrative Officer Jeff May says Juneteenth is certainly a day to be celebrated.
But to learn beyond Juneteenth should take you here to 218 Pressa.
SACAM traces what led up to the day the enslaved people of Texas finally learned they'd been set free 2 years earlier by the Emancipation Proclamation. There's a timeline, artifacts, and much more.
There is a place here that they can come and learn and explore and dive deep into the histories of African Americans in this region,
including those who would make their impact on San Antonio and Bexar County.
African Americans are Black 365, and there's so much to us. There's so much to our history.
Visitors, he says, can learn about a past they knew little about.
And also they rediscover themselves when they come and take a look.
SACAM is located here in historic La Villita, convenient to visitors and locals alike.
We're open every single day, and they can come and they can visit, and we're free.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead on the news at 6, a summer camp at a San Antonio museum offering kids a unique learning experience. How the camp is making learning fun this summer. Sorry about those technical difficulties. A museum here in the Alamo City is offering plenty of activities for kids this summer. The museum is offering camps for kids from ages 3 to 11. The camp's focus is on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. The museum also focuses on art activities. Kids can work on graffiti art, comic books, and even create a mini art gallery.
Our topics are very wide-ranging, and we always really challenge ourselves when we're developing the camps to come up with something truly unique for the city.
Spots for summer camps are full, but fall and winter camps will open soon, so make sure you're first in line for those. Just head to KSAT.com for more info.
All right, they're back. More than 100 goats returning to mow Brackenridge Park. This morning, around 160 goats at the park to do some natural yard work on all 6 acres. The goats help with the dense overgrowth in an eco-friendly way. A large portion of the herd comes from animal rescues and private adoptions.
It's a great way for city people to see how to use, livestock to help manage the land. And this is a perfect example. These goats eat everything. They don't eat trash, contrary to what cartoons tell you.
Look at they're going to work.
Going to work.
I think they were eating poison ivy in one of those pictures.
Does that hurt them?
No, I think they can. They're goats.
Goats are strong.
Yeah, they have a really tough stomach too. This isn't the first time the goats have been used to help with the vegetation at the park. In May of last year, Parks and Rec hired 150 goats to assist in clearing out the land.
That's a symbiotic relationship that I can get behind. I love people go out there to watch them too. It's hilarious.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Really?
I remember this last year. People were just staring at them and watching. They can get through it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good there's a fence too, so you're not going to get head-butted by one of those goats.
People would probably try to go pet them too.
Oh, nowadays though, got to get that selfie in,
Oh yeah.
Some of them are cute.
Well, of course they are. I'm just saying the concept, even in our national parks, getting close to bison and stuff.
Yeah.
And goats, that's fine. Don't get me on my
tangent
here.
I'm glad you approve, Adam.
Adam's going to go run through there and try to make everyone leave the goats alone.
They're working.
I have a few tangents I go on and some soapboxes I get on sometimes. I digress. Heat high. It's in control. Hot and humid. That's the key. Usually we have a dry heat this time of year. That's not going to be the case, though, for the next few days at least. And unfortunately, no rain chances. Despite this high humidity, too much of a cap on our atmosphere, and we just can't really materialize the instability way above us. Take a look at our high temperature trend. Be around 100 tomorrow afternoon. I'm thinking it should be our first 100-degree day. And then we get into the low 100s through the weekend and up to 103 by Monday and Tuesday. But when you factor in the humidity for a few hours in the afternoons, it could be as high as 108. That's in San Antonio, even higher than that south and east of town. Right now we're at 93. That's our high for the day. Dew point is 73, so it feels like it's 102. Usually this time of year, this time of day, I'll point out the temperature and say, tack on about 3 or 4 degrees, and that's your feels like. But with our very high humidity and those high dew points, you got to tack on about 8 to 11 degrees to get the feels like temperature. So it's making a difference out there. Very sticky and sweaty. Hondo at 90, Bandera 92. 88 Bernie, 91 in Bulverde. Temperatures not outrageous today, kept at bay from the lingering and loitering morning clouds. I'm not complaining about it. It's just one of those things that can impact our high temperature and limit our heating a little bit. So those morning clouds helped us out quite a bit today. Del Rio's up to 102 and Cotulla now 101. I point them out because they're typically the hot spots. Now, when it comes to the heat index, we're all feeling the mugginess. Even the locations farther from the Gulf Coast that typically would see a break in the humidity this time of day, we're all feeling that mugginess. So Cotulla, heat index right now of 115, 107 in New Braunfels, Gonzales 110. This is why dew points well into the 70s, even 80-degree dew point in Corpus Christi. It's rare you'll see a dew point higher than 80 degrees. I mean, we've seen them get up to maybe 81, 82, 83 is a stretch, but that 80-degree mark is just unbelievably humid and sticky. But it also prevents their temperature from actually rising much more because moist air doesn't warm up as efficiently as dry air. Either way, we're looking at these high dew points, soil moisture, all the vegetation that we have, evaporation, transpiration, it's adding to that moisture content. There are some indications that our dew points will drop a little bit into the mid-60s for the afternoon hours by this weekend. So we may get a break from the mugginess, but then that just turns it into a dry heat. There are some lower temperatures off to the north. You get into the 80s up the plains, even in North Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, temperatures in the 80s there on the cooler side, the not as hot side of the boundary that's still in North Texas. Same boundary we've been talking about for a few days. Severe weather from Dallas eastward through Jackson all the way down towards Savannah, Georgia. That's the alleyway of active weather. We're too close to the upper level high. In turn, it's just more of the same. 78 in the morning tomorrow with the low clouds lingering through the noon hour. Then we'll break out into sunshine. About 100 for the high temperature at 5 p.m. Factoring in the humidity, feeling like it's up to 107, 108. When you factor in that mugginess that's in the air. Bandera tomorrow, 101, Gonzales at 99. And nothing but sunshine. I wish we had some rain chances, but you'd have to head a little farther north of our area, north of Austin, to get into any storm chances.
Yeah, we complain, but we did get so much rain recently. So this is what it's supposed to be.
This is normal.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'm envisioning like Pop and maybe RC with like the stethoscope and maybe like hitting his knee, making sure everything's okay. I'm sure they probably have better experts than that, though.
Yeah, they'll be the first ones to tell you they're not doctors, right? They're just the head coach and the general manager and that kind of stuff. But coming up, the Spurs medical staff. So real doctors reportedly went to check up on Wembanyama. Plus, we're going to talk with the champ, Joshua Franco, who's getting ready to fight later this month. Coming up. For the 2023 NBA draft, the Spurs are doing their medical due diligence when it comes to 19-year-old French phenom Victor Wembanyama. Per ESPN's Jonathan Givony, the team's medical staff met with Wembanyama in France, and everything checked out well. Jonathan also said with that out of the way, everything looks to be on track for Wemby to be the #1 pick. The NBA draft is rapidly approaching on June the 22nd in Brooklyn, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. It is game day for San Antonio FC. The guys are in San Diego to take on the Loyal SC tonight. SAFC and San Diego will meet just a week and a half after the two sides played to a 3-3 draw at Toyota Field June 3rd. SAFC led that match 3-0 after 15 minutes, and they feel they should have won that game.
We should have won that game, you know. Obviously some calls didn't go our way, but I mean, that's football, like I said. So just, we're going into that game ready to win. You know, I truly believe if we had 11 guys on the field that game, would have, you know, had a different outcome.
Soccer's an emotional game. Tempers flare. I mean, you see it all over the world, and you know, we need to be really strong mentally going into this game. It's going to be tough physically, mentally, emotionally. So we're going to see what we're made of, and it's going to be a really good game. Two really good teams.
San Diego will host San Antonio FC tonight at 9 on ESPN+. Later this month, San Antonio's Joshua Franco will once again fly across the Pacific Ocean to face Japan's Kazuto Ioka. They both fought each other on New Year's Eve. The 12-round fight ended in a draw. Now, Franco is preparing for the rematch. KSAT 12 Sports producer Daniel Villanueva spoke with Franco last week to get his thoughts on the upcoming fight in Japan.
I feel like I'm just, it's still a hard camp. I feel like I got my rhythm back ever since the last fight. I feel like I had a little bit of ring rust because I hadn't fought in a year. So I would say I just feel more comfortable and I'm getting my rhythm back now.
Is that what you think is the difference in that last fight, considering it ended in a draw?
Yeah, I think so. Even though I feel like I performed well, I feel like my punches didn't land as clean as I wanted them to. So I feel like it had a little bit to do with the ring rust.
Are you a little worried that you would get drawn into not only this rematch, but then another one on top of it, regardless of how it ends up this time?
I'm not worried, but that's not what I want to happen. You know, I want to go over there and win, so I could, you know, set myself up for, you know, another fight, and you know, hopefully somebody in, you know, another champion or someone in the top 5. So I want to, you know, go out there and win, but yeah, I just have winning on my mind. I don't want to get a draw. So I mean, if it does happen, that would be pretty crazy. But I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking to go and win, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Good luck in your rematch.
Thank you, Larry. Back to you.
Thank you, champ. Here is your fight night info. It's Joshua Franco and Kazuto Ioka in Tokyo, Japan on June 24th. This fight is for Franco's WBA World Super Flyweight title. You can see much more of Franco this coming Sunday night on Instant Replay.
Getting your toss back
from a world
champ.
Thing. Yeah, I know.
How cool do you feel?
Very cool.
I was hoping Terry Bradshaw would do it yesterday. It's all right.
That would have been pretty great.
Opted out. After the break, as the temperatures across Texas heat up, ERCOT keeping an eye on the power consumption in Texas. See how ERCOT is allowing Texans to see how much power the state is actually using in real time. It's next.
Well, ERCOT has its weather watch effective tomorrow into early next week. This mainly serves as a notification for Texans to be aware of an increase in demand.
ERCOT said this does not affect grid conditions, and there's enough capacity to meet the forecasted conditions. As Sarah Acosta shows us, there's a way for you to track it all.
ERCOT is asking Texans to monitor grid condition updates through their website. So their website shows a snapshot of current conditions in the ERCOT system. So basically, you see this grid here. This blue part is the demand. The purple part is the capacity. You don't want that blue line to get too close to that purple line.
Right now, we are good. It's operating under normal conditions, and there is enough power for current demand for now. ERCOT says so far it is not anticipating power outages this summer. Headed into summer, record demand is 80 gigawatts set last July. ERCOT expected peak demand this summer of 82.7 gigawatts. Now, in just the second week of June, they expect 81.8 this Friday at 5 p.m. Since the days are getting hotter, CPS Energy is also telling everyone to conserve energy. So it's released something called energy conservation levels. They're color-coded depending on the day and have ways to help you save energy and bring down your electric bill costs. For example, a green day suggests to set your thermostat at 78 degrees during the day and use fans so you can be comfortable. An orange or red day will only be used if ERCOT declares a grid reliability risk. And with a week of 100-degree temps in the forecast,
so both Texans and our grid could be searching for relief. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Authorities say human body parts stolen from a morgue at the Harvard Medical School in Boston, then sold and shipped through the mail. A federal indictment accuses the morgue's manager, Cedric Lodge, of stealing portions of dissected cadavers and bringing them to his New Hampshire home. Prosecutors say he and his wife, Denise, then sold the body parts. The indictment also identified alleged buyers Katrina McLean and Joshua Taylor McLean. They're accused of reselling remains to buyers in multiple states. McLean, Taylor, and the Lodges are facing charges including conspiracy and interstate transport of stolen goods.
Well, new airliners soon will have a second barrier to protect pilots besides the cockpit door. The Federal Aviation Administration says it will begin requiring manufacturers to include them in the summer of 2025. The barriers are like gates between the cockpit and the passenger cabin. Crews can lock them whenever a pilot steps out during the flight, for instance, to use the restroom. Right now, airlines use methods like blocking the walkway with a beverage cart. Many pilots support the second barrier rules. Some even want it applied to existing airliners and cargo planes.
After yesterday's unprecedented arraignment and not guilty plea to more than 36 federal criminal charges in Miami, former President Donald Trump got back to campaigning today.
Yep. ABC's Lindsay Watts reports that Trump's political opponents, after first defending him and blasting the Justice Department, are now becoming more critical after reading the indictment.
They will fail and we will win bigger and better than ever before.
Twice impeached and now twice indicted, Donald Trump was upbeat and defiant after pleading not guilty to 37 federal charges. The former president rallying supporters at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club, once again declaring his innocence and threatening to prosecute President Biden if he is elected.
I will never be moving.
Hours earlier, Trump was arrested and fingerprinted before his court appearance. The former president never spoke in court, seeming to understand the gravity of the charges he's facing. Prosecutors allege Trump illegally kept classified documents, including some of the nation's most sensitive nuclear weapons and national defense secrets, at his Mar-a-Lago club. They also say Trump didn't fully comply with a subpoena, then repeatedly tried to obstruct the FBI's efforts to retrieve the documents, even allegedly suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents. Attorney General Merrick Garland speaking about the indictment for the first time.
My role is completely consistent with the regulations that set forth the responsibilities to the Attorney General under the special counsel regulations.
Most of Trump's opponents for the Republican nomination initially defended him and blasted the DOJ, despite not having read the indictment. Now that they have, their statements are more critical.
If this indictment is true, if what it says is actually the case, President Trump was incredibly reckless with our national security.
The handling of classified materials is a very serious matter, and this indictment contains serious charges, and I cannot defend what is alleged. At the end of the day, though, I can't believe that politics didn't play some role here.
A Reuters Ipsos poll shows more than 2 in 5 Republicans still support Trump for the nomination, and 3/4 say the criminal charges will have no impact or make it even more likely they'll support him. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, the Federal Reserve deciding not to raise interest rates for the month of June. What this means and how it's going to affect your money. Next.